All right, today we're doing something a little different. We're going to dive super deep into just one chapter of the story, Bibliomancers. We're talking chapter 87, and trust me, it unpacks this world that's, well, it's unsettling, and you might find it's a little too familiar for comfort.
So yeah, that's the plan. We're zeroing in only on chapter 87. I want to walk you through every single major plot point, step by step, because it reveals this really disturbing world. And it all kicks off with one heck of a question.
So what if heaven was run like a corporation? I mean, really think about that. You arrive in the afterlife, and instead of pearly gates and angels, you're in a waiting room. It feels like a corporate onboarding session. And yeah, that is exactly what happens to our main character.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Our protagonist, Jay, she just appears, and she's in this sterile, all-white room. Right away, she's greeted by her quote-unquote guide, a guy named Elias. And his whole vibe is just, it's super helpful, but also deeply, deeply unnerving. I mean, Elias talks in that perfect, polished customer service voice. He's at your command. But then, and this is where it gets weird, he asks Jock to rate him with heaven points. And he just casually drops that his supervisor can give him hell points. Just like that, you realize, oh my God, the afterlife has performance reviews. It's all been gamified.
So this whole intake process starts out kind of normal, right? Confirm your name, your pronouns, here's your awesome beach bungalow, standard stuff. But then it just takes this incredibly sharp, disturbing turn. The next question is, essentially, would you like a personal body servant, a Ken or a Barbie? It reduces a human being to just another option on a checklist, right there next to your food allergies. And the casual cruelty of this whole system just gets laid bare. Elias mentions that, if the Barbie isn't up to snuff, you can just return her. And he says, of course, she'll lose heaven points and gain hell points, but that has nothing to do with you. You're not to worry about that at all. The fate of another person is just an administrative detail, a customer service problem. And Jack is told point blank, don't worry about it. That corporate indifference, it is absolutely chilling.
And believe it or not, it gets even worse. From there, Jake is taken to this machine, and its whole purpose is to let her build her perfect companion from the ground up. It's literally like she's on a website configuring a new laptop or building her dream car.
See, in this world, a Barbie isn't a person. She's a product, a commodity. She's designed, programmed, and delivered for one single purpose: to serve the desires of whoever just arrived. The language is all business, totally transactional, with zero humanity to be found. And the process itself, it's just like filling out an online form. Jack has to input everything: physical specs, IQ, personality type. And the newest, most cynical option they've added, political affiliation. Can you believe that? After she puts in all her specs, the system spits out 24 nude photos for her to choose from. It is the absolute peak of dehumanization, but it's all packaged as this premium, customized service. So after this whole cold, sterile, procedural thing, her new companion just appears. And Jack's first words to her aren't a command or an instruction. They're just a simple human observation. She just says, "You are naked." And that one simple line just slices right through all the corporate BS. It's this tiny moment of raw, blunt reality in this completely manufactured world. Okay, so Jack and her companion, who she just calls Barbie, they finally leave the Welcome Center. And where do they go first? A shopping mall, of course. And it's here, in this mall, that the shiny, perfect veneer of this heaven really starts to feel, well, deeply wrong. I mean, on the surface, it looks like paradise. The weather's perfect, you can't get a sunburn, the transportation is silent and hyper-efficient, and the kicker, everything is free. Everything. There's no price tag on anything. It's a consumer's dream, a utopia that's been engineered to get rid of every single tiny inconvenience. But Jack, she's not buying it for a second. When Barbie's like, "Yup, it's all free," Jack's response is, "There is always a cost. We just haven't figured out what that is yet." She just knows a system this perfect has to have a hidden price somewhere. And you see her resisting again. She refuses to treat Barbie like a doll, telling her to pick out her own clothes. But here's the thing, Jock isn't in heaven to go on a shopping spree. She has one single goal: find her grandfather. And well, as you can probably guess, in a system that's completely obsessed with control and frictionless experiences, trying to make a real, genuine human connection,
Yeah, that's not going to be easy. And this is where you really see the huge gap between what you hope the afterlife is and what it actually is here. The whole system is literally designed to stop you from feeling bad. You can only meet up with someone if you've both pre-approved it. And why? To avoid the unhappiness of someone rejecting you or the guilt of having to see someone you'd rather not. It's all about this shallow, forced happiness instead of real, messy human relationships. Barbie even drops this absolutely chilling line to explain why, say, a husband might not want to see his wife again. She says, "Till death do you part is in the vows for a reason." The system protects him from guilt and protects her from rejection. They've twisted a wedding vow into a reason for eternal separation, all of it just to maximize happiness, like it's some kind of corporate KPI. And that brings us to the final and by far the darkest reveal of the whole chapter. We finally learn what the true cost of this paradise is, the hidden price that Jag knew was there from the very beginning. So what is it? Barbie tells Jock that her own existence is halfway between slave and indentured servitude. She's not a resident of heaven, she's part of a huge, invisible workforce. She is not free. And her work, her servitude, is the engine that makes this entire heaven run. Get ready for this number, 200,000. That is how many days in a row Barbie has to please her master, earning 5 points every single day without fail just to earn her freedom and become a real resident. Let me put that in perspective for you. That is more than 547 years of perfect, unbroken service every single day. And the system is just designed for you to fail. Think of it like the most brutal gig economy imaginable. Pleasing your master gets you 5 points. But displeasing them? That costs you 10. And getting returned, that thing Elias mentioned so casually at the beginning, that's an instant 1,000-point penalty. It's a one-way ticket straight to hell. The power dynamic here is completely and utterly absolute. And this is where it all clicks for Jack. She realizes this isn't some grand divine plan. This is a business plan. This heaven is built on a model of exploitation that any corporation on Earth would kill for. We're talking free labor for hundreds, even thousands of years. The system isn't really about making the residents happy. It's about its own bottom line, its own efficiency, and it's all paid for on the backs of others. And that's where the chapter leaves us, with this really haunting question to chew on. In a perfect paradise, who pays the price for your happiness? It really forces you to look behind the curtain of any supposedly perfect system and ask, who's invisible? Who doesn't have a voice? And who ultimately is paying the bill for someone else's utopia?